This is going to be one of those videos where you're going to want to get a snack or some coffee and really dig in. It's totally worth the 40-something minute video, but if you really want to get a clear understanding of what Guest Hollow's language arts is like, please save this video when you have time to watch because it's wonderful and thorough. Thanks. Hi there, welcome to The Joyful Warrior. This is Toshiba coming at you again with another video for my language arts curriculum. My previous video, I mentioned that we were trying something new this year. We were doing a hands-on approach to language arts. And so I've already showed you the flip through of that. And so this is the teacher's manual that I'm gonna go through with you guys to help you understand. Actually, no, this is the teacher's manual that I bound. I'm not gonna go through this one today, but I just wanted to give you a visual of what the Beowulf's grammar was like. So what I'm gonna go through today, I didn't print a cover for this, but this is the language arts. And so we're gonna go through this today step by step. I'm gonna try to make it as quick as I can, but I just wanna let you know it comes with at least, well, it doesn't come with, but you can check out at the library at least 50 books that come with as add-ons or tie-ins to the program. It is a Charlotte Mason approach, and it's a very multi-sensory program, and that's what kind of piqued my interest because, you know, I have 2 dyslexics and I have 2 gifted and then 1 exceptionally smart child. But I wanted to do something with all of the kids. And so my eldest will be attending a hybrid school and the 2 sets of twins will be at home, and they beg to do each other's curricula at different times. And so I thought, let's just combine them. I've never ordered a PDF before and tried anything like this, so I'm really excited to try it. So let's dig in. Here it is. This is what the language arts includes, and like I said before, it ties in with the Beowulf grammar. So the Beowulf grammar is required to do this portion of language arts. So you'll start off, and I've made some things to try to be a little bit more concise. Hopefully this is in the frame and you can see everything clearly. So like here, there's an introduction, there's a link to where you can order it. The introduction talks about language arts, and I love that I feel like Jennifer Guest is the person who wrote the curriculum with Guest Hollow. I don't know if I said that earlier. I'm super excited. As you can see, I'm already getting scatterbrained. Anyway, I like that when I read this little chunks of information, it makes me feel like she's speaking to me, and it doesn't seem very curricula oriented, which is really good. So here it talks about that this is just a schedule, and that this is for a variety of ages, grades 2 to 6, teaches multiple ages at a time. It uses literature and a variety of other teaching concepts, and it provides optional teaching and parenting guides. I really enjoyed that part of it, and it's a gentle guide to so many things. So first it has grammar, and it has writing, and I'll do a flip back. It has poetry, vocabulary, spelling, and handwriting, literature, reading, and stories. And I think that's it. Oh, sorry, read alouds and phonics if you would like to utilize that portion of it. So as you can see, it's pretty thick. And if you're wondering, the cost of this, I think, was $20, and it's a PDF download. So again, getting back to this, I just wanted to make a few comments about where I made the tag. So the first thing, of course, if you're familiar with Charlotte Mason, you'll know that they treat everything in here as a suggestion or a buffet of activities, and there are plenty. Also recommends that you at least use some of the grammar tie-ins, and she uses a scoring card to rate them from 1 to 4 in order of importance. So if you're wondering if you should get the book, or in my case, if you should check the book out, then she gives you a good rating scale to know of how important it is if you can't get that at their library at the time. Also, she has homeschooled for 20 or more years, and her children are thriving writers. So you can tell by the curriculum that they're really passionate about writing and language arts. Never underestimate the power of a picture book, because I know that my kids, I get them all into reading chapter books, and we forget about the jewels or the gems that we have in picture books. And she talked about daily journaling, which is something that we don't do anymore that we used to, and also that you can add in anything. So this is just a guide. This is a spine to what you're going to do, much like if you were using Sunlight or I don't know, what are the other ones? My Father's World or anything of that nature. That's kind of what this is similar to. She makes suggestions here. Don't insist on your student finishing every writing assignment, which is this is what I'm gonna have to work on, because I kind of want them to be complete when they write. And when I mean them, I mean my eldest, because my younger ones don't write very much at all. Becca hasn't really provided them a lot of opportunities to write, and when they haven't given them a lot of instruction on when to write. So then here it says what happens, or for me, I'm paraphrasing, if your child throws a tantrum and doesn't want to write, then she gives alternative things that you could do instead of what's already listed, and they're already here. She also talks about substitute lessons and assignments when you're having one of those drab kind of days, and us homeschool moms know exactly what that means. And also there's a book that she references, Don't Forget to Write. So there's lots of books that you won't see here that are in my Amazon box, but I'll show you a list in a moment to see, so that you can see the prices of those things, and you can also buy them used. Also, this includes copy work, narration, sentence writing, journaling, letter writing, creative writing, writing different forms of poetry, learning about story components, setting, characters, plot, conflict, writing stories, making storyboards, creating dialogue, fairy tales, writing an essay opinion, and critiquing a recipe, creating Mad Libs, writing and performing puppet shows. I mean, come on, guys. This is like, I mean, you know that a lot of us, I'm sorry about the shadow, have used the one curriculum that is supposed to be all encompassing. And you know, guys, that I really do enjoy using that curriculum, but this, my friends, is all encompassing, and it's a secular curriculum, so there is no Christian worldview as a part of it, but she does have some Christian links, and you'll see that later on, that you can go to if you want to add anything else to this curriculum, which I don't think it needs. Also, I'm using, so in place of poetry, I won't be using this. I'll be using the Charlotte Mason, Simply Charlotte Mason enrichment program that I already talked about in another video, to do our poetry, because I'm kind of going to structure my own poetry. We have scheduled 9 months of school, and so in that 9 months of school, we're going to take each month and work on a different poet, and I'm bringing some diversity into my homeschool. So we're gonna do Langston Hughes and people of, you know, of African-American descent and Hispanic descent. So we're gonna make ours, we even have Middle Eastern descent in some of the poets. And anyway, so I'm going to use Simply Charlotte Mason as a spine and create our own poetry. And anyway, next is vocabulary. Also with vocabulary, I ordered this and I cannot think of the name of it, and I'm using my phone to do the video, so I can't tell you, but I ordered this fun one. You've probably seen it advertised on Facebook. It's from the UK, and it's a flip chart of vocabulary, like vocabulary once a week or whatever it is, and so a word a week or something like that. So we're gonna use that instead of this vocabulary. And for spelling, I love that the Modern Speller is a free book in one of those huge online libraries that you can use for copy work and also for spelling. We're also going to be using The Logic of English for my dyslexics for spelling and phonics, and so that's what we're gonna do there. Let me see if I missed anything on my tab. Oh, she also has, in the first week when we're starting to decorate their own notebook, and my kids would love that. I would not have thought of that because I'm not super artistic, but my kids really would love to do that. They would love to decorate their own notebook to do their work in. Here's what the schedule looks like if you want to follow a copywork schedule. I love this. There's a take and play hangman game. I think it's like $6 or $7 on Amazon. My kids, we just taught them how to play hangman actually last week, and so this one's a little bit more organized and more fun. I super duper love this part. So if you watch these videos here, it'll give you an understanding of how to do dictation if you've never done it. Obviously, I've used The Good and the Beautiful, and I've used a couple of other Charlotte Mason things where even Becca has dictation, and so I am very well aware, but if I hadn't, this would be a great example to see. There are so many multisensory things in this curriculum that I'm just like astonished right now. Also, this is in the handwriting. She offers the Modern Speller, and this is free, remember. Also, How to Draw Cute Stuff. I think I have one of those books. I have a huge stack of books here, so if you hear me in the background ding around, that's what it is. but I'll give you an example of what that book would be like. So this is another one of those that is the illustration school. Let's Draw Cute. Oh, this is actually the one, sorry. Let's Draw. So this is what it would be on that day. And this would be giving the kids a break just for the moment to draw cute animals. And this is a part of the writing curricula. So this is what the book looks like. And yes, super excited about that. So this is one of the books that I got from the library. So for handwriting, I'm using Handwriting Without Tears for my younger twins because I started to notice not just the dyslexic son, my daughter is also still transversing letters, which I know is developmentally normal, but because we use Debecca videos, I would like to reiterate the proper way to write their letters. And I have a left-handed daughter, so that makes it really difficult to make sure. For the reading logbook, they offer one to purchase, but I've already purchased one with Not Consumed, and it's really cute. And I purchased it for my eldest son, but I'll use a couple of those sheets to make copies for my other children whenever they need to. Here are tons of resources that you could use. I wrote in purple, so I can't even read it. Of why you should allow your children to choose their own literature that they want to read. And so this is not necessarily the same as No Twaddle, but these are some articles. I only looked at one of them about what type of confidence it builds when children get to choose their own literature. And I noticed that with my eldest. My other ones just are not in that vein yet, and we're praying about it. The next thing is phonics. Like I said, we're going to be using the Logic of English, but she does give you some resources if you want to use other curricula. And here's some free DIY homeschooler another link that she gives you for free resources. Again, this is like jam-packed with all kinds of stuff. Tab's still on there. She lists here that here are some of the books, and this is just one that we already had on hand from the library as an example of Dr. Seuss books, Pete the Cat books, and all of these listed here. You can read them. I'm sure you can see them, of helping your children be more fluent in their reading. And then the read alouds. Okay, I'm super stoked about it. I know we're not there yet, but it says read alouds. But the cool thing is all the read alouds were read alouds that we had already chosen. So I am like, I don't know, I just feel like that's divine providence, and there's no such thing as coincidence. I was looking at these books already. Half of them I have from the Sunlight package that I purchased last year and we did not utilize. So I am really, really giddy and stoked about already having that. Anyway, she lists the Read Aloud handbook as a resource as a parent, and it's even worked into the curriculum of how many, like a chapter a day that you would read yourself to kind of gird yourself up with the knowledge that you need to continue to read aloud to your children. Also, she says that read alouds don't have to be done during school time, and all of us who read aloud know that. She's chosen 11 books, so about 3 weeks to read these 11 books throughout the program. And she also has other curricula, Guest Hollow Geography. She also has anatomy and chemistry, junior anatomy as well. And so she recommends that you don't bog them down with doing a lot of lap books and vocabulary lists, which I'm so glad. This is why I underlined it, because I do get a little vocabulary happy. It's just the nerd in me. And also family dinner. I love this idea too, guys. Family dinner book club ideas for those who want to kind of wrap up their week with whatever they've learned and then do a recipe that will kind of cement those ideas in their head. I just love that. I'm not that creative. I see people doing that on YouTube and I'm envious, but I'm like, that's not my ministry. So anyway, see my notes. Salivating because of, so Trumpet of the Swan is one of the books we already have. My 5th grader is reading that last year, or he got it and he didn't finish. We already have Charlotte's Web and Stuart Little. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is one of them. And again, here she lists the resource of where there's a, after you read the book, watch the movie, there's a recipe that could go with that as well. Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. Funny thing, my son, this is his next choice after he finishes his 8th book with the Barnes & Noble summer reading club, where you get a free book after reading 8 books. And so that was his book. I'm not sure. I listened to an ebook of this, a sample of the best Christmas pageant ever, and I'm not sure that my boys will want to, but I don't know. We'll see. It's around Christmas time, maybe. The One and Only Ivan. I had my eye on this book for a while. That's not one that we have, but I'm interested in. Also, there's a video. The 100 Dresses. I bought this one last year. We never got to read it. Family Dinner Book Club for that one too. The Littles or the Borrows. I'm kind of drawn to the Borrows because I've heard some good things about it. Owls in the Family, Bambi, Indian in the Cupboard. We've seen that on the Sunlight book list. Henry Huggins, we have two of my sons have read this. And The Little Princess is another ebook that I listen to on my free library ebook app that I don't know that my boys will like it. It seems to be a little girly and they are all boy. Hands-on activities would be How to Tell a Story kit that you order from Amazon, and you'll see the prices on the next page. And she sends a little cute note that this curriculum may or may not be the right fit for you, but just trying it out, you know, and tweaking it the way that you need to. I'm sorry, the video is already 15 minutes long, so this is going to be one of those long, thorough ones that you should probably get some coffee and a snack to, if you're interested in Guest Hollow at all. So this is very thorough. I'm just going to let you know. There's no fast in Toshiba's voice. So here is how it starts off. Here are the resources and the book list. And so you'll see here where to click to go to her link. Here's the ranking that she does. Here is the necessary items for sure, ranks number 1. Number 2 is it's highly recommended but not absolutely necessary. Number 3, it's optional but recommended. And number 4, this item is optional and less important than the others. Also, she gives you another resource of free with Amazon Kindle. You can try it for 30 days. I like this one too, the Lexile, where you can determine where your kids are based on this Lexile. I think public school uses this. We use it in private school as well. And so grammar, you'll see it checked by the things that I already have and that I already checked out from the library. And so I'll try to show you the books as I go through them, but I may not be able to do that without taking up a whole bunch of time. So Beowulf's Grammar, you saw this earlier in an earlier video. The Story Maker Kit, I plan on purchasing that. I thought I put the prices in here, but okay, here, there's another list in the back where the prices are. So these are all the ones that I got from the library. So you know these books, I'm sure you've seen them, and there are quite a few, and I think there's still one that I have on hold. So you'll see If You Were a Noun, a Minka Finka Skating Rink, all of those. And so I'll just give you a quick look at the books that we got, and then I'll just show you the list in a second. So you've seen these books. They're by Brian Cleary, and I keep wanting to say, you know, I keep wanting to say Beverly Cleary, but it's Brian Cleary, and he's written tons of these books. My eldest has read all these books just this weekend after I picked them up from the library. To Root, to Toot, to Parachute, What is a Verb, a Minka Finka Skating Rink, What is a Noun, Under Over by the Clover. My son liked this one. He has a tough time with prepositions. Slide, Slurp, Scratch, and Burp, More About Verbs. I and You and Don't Forget Who is what is a pronoun. Lazy, Crazily, Just a Bit Nasally, more about adverbs. But and For, Yet and Nor, or the Fanboys. Hairy, Scary, Ordinary, about adjectives. And I think that's all of these. So I just wanted to show you what those look like if you haven't seen those before. Here's Merry-Go-Round. Again, if I can find it in an orderly fashion, I will try to show you while I'm going through them, but that's almost impossible to do, so I can't find it right now. Anyway, Ambush of Tigers, and you'll see when I pull them out what they all reference. Here's the list. You can pause if you just want to look at them. Most of them I just showed you, and all the checks means that I found those at the library and I checked them out already. I'm gonna take them back. I was just checking them out just to make sure that they had them, so I'd know financially what I would have to spend to add to the curricula, because I have quite a few that are PDF that require things. So here's where I started to write down the ones that aren't necessarily at the library, and some of them are, and that I may want to purchase myself. So here with the writing, so all of this that I mentioned before, previous to this, was grammar. What we're starting with now is what's under the writing curriculum. So this is Illustration School, Let's Draw a Story, and this is $9.98 on, and it's like the Cute Animals one that I showed you earlier. There's a few different iterations of this book, and so I'm thinking about getting it. I already borrowed this one from the library, but that's how much it costs. Time Capsule, a seriously awesome kids journal. That's the journal that she suggests that you write in every day. Story Maker, it's a magnet set, again, multi-sensory, $18.95. Q&A a day, I like this one. This is a 3-year journal, and so there's like a little, kind of like this page is set up, like a block here, it's about 3 or 4 on a page, and it asks the child a question every day, and they answer the question in a complete sentence. And they're they're kind of, some of the questions are outlandish, some of them are serious, but it kind of gets their writing juices flowing. The Writer's Toolbox is another interactive thing. You can read that if you pause. Sincerely Yours is a book about letters. If you hear my kids laughing, you know, I got 5. So here's what Sincerely Yours looks like, and it's really cute. It's about writing a letter. Give you a little look inside of what that's like. It's about a child. I thought it was. The first page that I wrote was about a child, and so he's writing a letter, and then on the side over here it explains what that portion of the letter is about and the tool that it's necessary for. The Jolly Postman, I think I have this one on hold. Don't Forget to Write, another one about letters. For some reason I thought I think I tried to put it on hold and it wasn't available. And a Thesaurus, we have one, but I would like to purchase that one. Look at My Book, How Kids Can Write and Illustrate Terrific Books. I'm going to purchase that one. And I wrote all these down and my daughter took the computer, and so I forgot what these 2 prices were. I don't remember. Anyway, but they're both ranked #1, and you can see the rankings at the top of each of the ones. I Want a Dog, My Opinion essay, or I Want a Cat. My kids will probably choose the dog one. How to Tell a Story, 1338. Rory's Story Cubes. I think we actually have these upstairs. And Finger Puppets. Again, that's 4. It's ranked 4. Here are all the prices of all the books that I found, and the other ones that you don't see a price on, that means that I can check them out at the library and I don't need to purchase them. And I'll show you the rest of the books that I have. So Greedy Apostrophe, A Cautionary Tale. Alfie the Apostrophe, this one was actually really cute. I read most of these this weekend trying to prepare for the video. 20 Odd Ducks, Every Punctuation Mark Counts. Girls Like Spaghetti, Why You Can't Manage Without Apostrophes. Eats, Shoots, and Leaves, Why Commas Really Do Make a Difference. And these are really cute books that the kids can read on their own. I'll probably read them aloud to them, but it'll show a sentence here on the first page. As you can see, the student, comma, said the teacher, comma, is crazy, and it gives an illustration of what that is. And then it's written a second way, the student said the teacher is crazy. And then in the back it'll tell you, you know, what was wrong with it if you couldn't figure it out on your own, and what those pictures meant. This is really cute, and all of them, the 3 previous ones are kind of like that one by Lynn Truss. Also there was this one, Words, Wit, and Wonder, about poetry, and we're not big poetry people, so we're gonna dive in this year with formal poetry. And these are, I like the ones that are written like they're written for right brain and left brain. I'm very left brain literal, and so this obviously would be my portion, but then there is an abstract understanding of that, or a story form, or this one's actually poetry, and I really like that. My kids, half of them are left brain and the other half are more dominant right brain. Here's another one that I really like. It's a really short, cute read about an exclamation point, exclamation mark, and it's a cute little story about how he's different, and then when he realizes being different is awesome, when he meets the question mark, and you know, really cute, really simple. So I just wanted to show you the books because I didn't want you to think, because when I first saw the list of books, I was thinking, oh my Lord, I'm gonna be overwhelmed. How am I gonna have 50,000 books? But they're really short picture books, and so that would take about 3 to 5 minutes to read, and you know, you're done. Handwriting, How to Create Cute Stuff, Draw Anything. I did see this one at the library. I think I put it on hold. Handwriting, I don't know if I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna borrow it from the library to see what it looks like. If not, we're gonna use the handwriting routes here, like I said. Poetry, I already mentioned that I'm probably gonna use Simply Charlotte Mason's enrichment program. We already have this book, is why I checked it. We have Shel Silverstein. We don't read it that often anymore. We did in the beginning of the year. Enormous Smallness is a book that's included under, I think it was writing, was it? It was poetry, and this is by E.E. Cummings, and this is actually the story of E.E. Cummings, and it tells about what the letters stand for and things of that nature. Dylan will probably be very interested in this. I'm not sure everyone will, but who doesn't love a quick read aloud? A River of Words, the story of William Carlos Williams. I feel like I have that one. I don't see it in my stuff. Here it is. I do, right here. And so this is a story of William Carlos Williams, which is kind of, I hope my kids catch that he has the same first and last name, or similar first and last name. And it talks about how he grew up. I actually did not read this one, but it's cute. It's about poetry, and I just decided to grab those because they had them to see what they looked like, to determine whether or not. I also have plenty of notes to make after I read them this go round to see if I want to check them out again. Vocabulary, spelling, and multi-subject. She also, same thing, speller. We're not using that. Rummy Roots was like gin rummy, I think, but it was cards with like Latin and Greek origins. Bananarama, I think we either have these or the other ones that are those tactile type of tiles. Also, Uncovering the Logic of English. This is the first one. I have the Logic of English, and so already familiar with that. I was kind of glad to see that in here. Take and Play Anywhere. Hangman, I mentioned that earlier, and the price was $6.97. And so here are the reading and the lesson tie-ins. Again, this one's ranked number 4. All of these are at the bottom of the list. I hadn't decided whether I was already getting the thesaurus. Archaeologists Dig for Clues. I'm probably going to get this one because there was an activity that I printed that I'll show you in a second. And the other side of the story was actually really cute fairy tale stories that tells the other side of the story, or probably the antagonist's point of view. Not really familiar with Shakespearean mythology type of things, so I probably will check these out at the library. There's also a few cute ones through Usborne that I might order. And these are different types too. It says choose 2 of the following John Shiza, I can't pronounce that. Shiska, I don't know who he is, but he's obviously somebody important that she wants you to choose 2 of those books. I didn't see this one. I went to before. I checked those other books out of the library, and here are the read alouds. Again, you already heard these, but I checked them off. I hope you like how thorough this is. If it's too much, just fast forward, but I wanted you guys to see how much work she put into this, and then how easy it was for me to just get through it. And then of course, you know, we all love a good list, and so this is a list of all the books, and I put checks on all the ones I checked out from the library just to tell myself that I didn't have to purchase these. And these ones I made a list over there, but I'm gonna come back and check off the ones that I'm actually going to order versus the ones that there are a few in here that you can check out. And I'm not using their vocabulary, but I think I checked this because I think what we have is bananagrams. No, we have pairs and pairs, actually, because it's in a little pair thing, but they're very similar. And some of the read-ins and the tie-ins. So the ones that I didn't show you, I'll just go through them now. There's the Very Cranky Bear, and An Ambush of Tigers. Sorry, I'm not putting it in the camera correctly. Behind the Mask. This one was cute. It was about prepositions. I wish I had time to look through, but we're already at 27 minutes, and I want somebody to actually watch the video, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up as quickly as I can. Mini Luscious Lollipops. This is a book on adjectives. This one was really cute too. My eldest read through some of these this weekend. Beautiful illustrations. Look at my book, How Kids Can Write and Illustrate Terrific Books. And they do a lot about dialogue in this one, in the genres, and I really appreciate that. Setting, the characters. I mean, this is a really cute book. I would have probably never thought, I'm so bookwormy, I would have never thought, ironically, to get children's books that express the same sentiments as curriculum does. Merry-Go-Round. This is one of the books, and it's really cute. And they don't have lots of words on all the pages, which for my middle twins, who are like void of words for some odd reason, they just don't love reading like we would love them to at this point. We're still praying about that. But as you can see, I think they might. One of the middle twins, Dylan, he really loves picture books, so I think, and language is also his favorite subject, so this one was really cute. My 5th grader, soon to be 6th grader, I hate to keep saying that, he loved this book. So she drew a picture of her family, and then she thought she would kind of soup it up with a more broad description of what her family looked like, and then make a face out of it. This one was really cute. And then he once we read a couple, then you started to guess what was gonna be the hair, what was gonna be the eyes, what was gonna be the mouth, and just really cute picture book. Here's another one, plural words with irregulars there too. Very cute picture books. I think we're gonna have so much fun this year, especially because there's only like one picture book a day, so I don't have to read these all the time, so we can keep the books for a couple weeks until we get through whatever part of speech we're in. But it's just so good to know that most of them were right at my local library. I mean, I did order them online, but most of them were already at my actual library. And the last one is Tales from Shakespeare. This one is a weird book to me. I don't understand. I mean, I kind of remember the titles of Midsummer Night's Dream. I don't know. None of this sound, I mean, of course Macbeth, but it's written weirdly in here. That it's written kind of graphic novel-y, and I don't do well with those. I mean, it's not, but it's a lot for me. This is sensory overload for me. But anything for the children, right? Anyway, so then we'll get into the first week. So this is what week 1 looks like. It tells you what books to read. Also, the cool thing about this, so let's just say, it says here a Minka Fink, a skating rink. And if I can find that book. So if you can't find this at your local library, if you click on this link, and these are all hyperlinks that you have with your download, there will be a 3 to 5 minute video of a parent or a person reading this book aloud for you. Like, come on, like this couldn't get any better than this. And everyone also has one of these sheets that you have that you can put up in a, I mean, clearly I put mine in here. And then on the back, inside this, there is a coloring sheet. So while I'm reading the book, they can color this and also pay attention to the nouns that are listed here. They're pretty familiar with nouns, but I just thought that was awesome. There's also, again, multi-sensory, extra activities, a noun game that you can, again, you click on the link and it'll take you there. Some of them work, most of them work actually. I only found maybe like 10% of them didn't work. Brian Cleary, he always has a poster and a color sheet and an online interactive game. And the noun song is like super cute. I mean, I save them in my box on YouTube in the language section, but I mean, Dylan, who loves language, loves songs, and they have rap songs, they have kind of nursery rhyme type of songs. It's really amazing. I'm not joking. I haven't even used it yet, but I just thought that alone, the multi-sensory approach has completely sold me. This starts, and so I printed mine backwards and forwards to save on the paper. And if you're wondering how I printed all of these things, about, I don't know, 200 or 300 pages, I use HP Instant Ink. And so that's really a blessing right now. Anyway, there's lots of YouTube videos as resources. You don't have to watch them all, but I'm almost sure we'll watch them all because they were all no more than 3 or 5 minutes. So it'll be a nice break from looking at the table doing our work. And what you'll see is then the next day, the next week, here's the week of activities. And so this is Beowulf's Grammar, which we have, and then here's the buffet. And here is where we would read Ambush Tigers on a Wednesday. And then on Friday, all we would have to do is read this book, because we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday of some of these, so our schedule can look exactly like this. And look at all of the extras that you get to do. The printable that we have, I put the printables in the middle, so then you can see here's the explanation and here is the game of how to do plurals. So you would, if it ends in an E, then you would go down this, and it's called a plural machine. And so if it ends in E, then you'll go down here, stop and check if it's FE, and then go this way if it's FE, and then you would add VES, like in leaf, then it would be leaves. Or if it's all the rest down here, then you would add an S if it's not FE. If it ends in F, we did that one. If it ends in Y, you have to check if it's AY, EY, or OY. And then if it's yes, then you just add an S. If it's no, then you drop the Y, add the I, add a yes. I really love that. My mechanical boy will really love this. Also, one or more than one. Oh, spelling game, sorry. And so this one is kind of, you take one of the, you get a die and you roll it, and whatever you roll it on, 1 through 6, and then you would have to take these words and you cut these out. I'll probably do this one on cardstock, and there's quite a few back here. There's a few pages of them, and then you decide Who wins by who turns their word into singular, plural. What did it say? Singular, plural, ending in Y, X, or S, ES. I just think this is going to be really fun because we've done worksheets like this before and I'm not sure that any of it is sticking. And so anyway, yeah. There's printable packets. I didn't print off every one of them. I tried to print off as many as I could that had a hyperlink to them, but this is what it looks like. And there's so many multi-sensory things that we can do. And this is the poetry that we're not going to do. If you were going to do it, she suggests English from the Roots Up. This is a great book. I just think it's too, my kids aren't old enough yet for the Latin and the Greek. Yeah, if we do it, we'll probably do one a week versus one every day. And then week 3, there's always a Brian Cleary pronoun poster, and this week it will be pronouns. And there's a book, of course. I'm probably not gonna get the right one, of course not. Where is it? Okay, I can find it. But it's these ones. And so one of those books, while I'm reading the book, they'll be coloring this sheet, and then we'll just be looking at the poster. And Sincerely Yours is one of the books I think I said I was going to purchase. It talks about writing to the president, or an alternative idea would be writing to an astronaut. And we're doing Mae Jemison this year, so this would be a great person to write to. You should separate your project over the course of a week. So rough draft, work on other proofreading and rewriting it. I'm still doing a video, guys. I'm still doing a video, please be quiet. That's it. And you can see here, I didn't mention it a lot because, you know, it's already awesome. And I've already read this one, but Uncovering the Logic of English would be the parent or teacher homework for the week when the kiddos are playing. And week 4, this is the pizza activity. I love this activity. It's in Beowulf's Grammar that week. And then it gives you a recipe that you can make individual pizzas with biscuits and toppings and things of that nature. Time capsule, I think they're really gonna enjoy the time capsule one too. And then not doing the poetry. So then this next week has a lot of printables. So Beowulf's Grammar, we know we're doing that. And Beowulf's Grammar, by the way, takes about 10 to 20 minutes a day, depending on what it is. And then the second part that I'm using is writing. And so let's just say, guys, that writing doesn't work out there. I printed out most of the printables, and if it's too willy-nilly all over the place, which I don't think it will be, but if it is, then I'll just go back to the original writing plan that we were going to do. But so far, so good. I like what it's showing me. We just have to see how the kids react to it. But these were the printables for that week, and they were all online. Again, I paid, this thing costs $20, and so all the resources were online, and I printed them so they would already be printed. Even though I have the download and I could print them to my machine, sometimes I like to put them on the copy machine and just make the copies. This would be one I would print on cardstock. They get to cut and put the story in order. The story takes place in a castle, so they'd mix them up and then make it. I don't know how they would do that. That seems a little difficult to me. Or just filling in the blank, and these are not difficult even for my soon-to-be 3rd graders who haven't done a whole lot of grammar. And then it talks about the setting of a story with a little explanation, and it's just super cute and colorful. I really like it. This one was create a character, and then they get to pick their favorite food, least favorite food, and then tell why, just kind of building a character around some of their favorite things. And there's the instructions to the parent on what to do. And then setting, there was one on brainstorming that wasn't there, so I just printed this one instead, about labeling each section and drawing something and making it person, place, or thing. I think this was actually a noun one, but we could still use it for brainstorming if I couldn't find anything else. Oops, too far. So that was week 7, and then week 8, again, all of these are interactive links that they can click on, and they have iPads, and we're getting a couple more for the other kids, so they'll be able to just hyperlink on those and go and do the interactive games if we have some extra time. Week 9, a girl without a face. I'm not sure what that is, but it's drawing. Play with the story maker. So as you can see, I think some of the days are really low key. This one is the girls that like spaghetti, why you can't manage without apostrophes. Again, there's a video read if you want to do that. Everything else is really the same, guys. I don't want to belabor this, but I mean, back to Brian Cleary's chart, and while I'm reading, there's always something for them to do with their hands. If they don't want to color, then there's, I love the Lego play when I'm reading, but probably this or the thinking putty is the thought. And again, a verb poster, just talked about it. It's just all laid out really simply for you. I mean, it was a lot at first. I was a little bit overwhelmed by the idea of all of this stuff, but it's done really thoroughly. You can tell that Jennifer has put 20 years into this because it's something that I would have wanted to do, but really wouldn't have had the time to do on my own. And I appreciate that she took the time to do this. And if you guys are interested in seeing more flip throughs of the books that I showed before, or I'll probably do one more video of a close-up example of the books that I'm ordering from Amazon whenever they come in. I haven't ordered those just yet, but look at this. This is super cute. A principle on how to make finger puppets. My kids just, they like making things. And as much as I loathe having to do crafts all the time, the one thing that I do enjoy doing it, but the thing is gathering the information. So I'm just taking my summer day by day, preparing us for this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do these videos in two. I think that it's one that you can watch and breeze through if you want, but if you want a thorough look at what Jennifer's offering with Gestalt, this is it. I mean, everything. Look, how to write a topic sentence. This is an answer key, but again, this was a free resource that was sent from a link. And how many times have we bought curricula and then we needed an add-on or a tie-in, and nothing against, I'm just thinking of this one, Carson DeLosa. We get those interactive notebooks pages, and then we go over here and get a free printable, and then we go to Pinterest and we try to do this. And this is your Pinterest, Carson DeLosa, your teacher pay teacher, all in one curriculum. And I just think, if we usually will overwhelm ourselves when this is already done for you, and you don't have to be overwhelmed by all the things that you have to do. Again, it's just a teacher's guide that I wanted to thoroughly go through so that I could show you all the things in songs. And I wished I could have even gotten the phone so I could let you listen to a couple of songs. Oh my gosh, there was Schoolhouse Rock on some of them too. Giddy, let's just hashtag giddy. Similes, metaphors, and the teacher keys. And this is not something that you have to do. This is something that is optional, but I'm just printing it just in case, because if they love it, then of course we're going to do as much of it as we can, because when we're doing fun things, it really doesn't feel like school when we're doing things that are fun. Anyway, this video is getting super long. I'm probably not going to edit it. I just wanted you to see all of the, like she says, the buffet that Jennifer has laid out here for us. Is a 33 weeks program. This goes somewhere with the onomatopoeia challenge. So if you're interested in Gestalt, this is what the language arts looks like. We also have the Beowulf grammar that I previewed the other day. This is the teacher's manual that I didn't go through, and I haven't gone through it. If you want to see me go through it, just leave a note down in the comments or let me know what you think of this. This is new to me, guys. They do have a Facebook page that using it, but like, I love this. It's not like a script, but it gives you great amounts of information on how to help your children get through the language arts curriculum and have a lot of fun. And so we're really excited about it, and you can see I'm planning for it. There's also a guide in here if you just want to use Beowulf grammar. It has its own weekly calendar of things, and it's 33-week schedule, so it allows 3 to 4 weeks, I would say, wiggle room if you want to do something, expound on some things or go on field trips. There's room for that. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and I'll talk to you in another video soon.